Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland says the Venezuelan ambassador to Canada and another senior diplomat are no longer welcome in the country, biting back at Venezuela's decision to expel the top Canadian envoy from Caracas over the weekend. In a statement on Christmas Day, Ms. Freeland said Venezuela's ambassador, Wilmer Omar Barrientos Fernandez, who was recalled by President Nicolas Maduro's regime in October, is not welcome to return. She said Canada will also expel Venezuela's charge d'affaires, Angel Herrera, who was in charge of the embassy in the absence of an ambassador, by declaring him persona non grata. The decision comes after the Venezuelan government declared Canada's charge d'affaires in Caracas, Craig Kowalik, persona non grata on Saturday, stripping him of his diplomatic credentials and expelling him from the country. Story continues below. Advertisement. Reached by the Globe and Mail on Monday, a representative from the Venezuelan embassy in Ottawa declined to comment on Ms. Freeland's statement. The diplomatic tit-for-tat is the latest flare-up in relations between the Trudeau and Maduro governments over Venezuela's political and economic crisis. Ms. Freeland said the expulsion of Mr. Kowalik is typical of the Maduro regime, which has consistently undermined all efforts to restore democracy and to help the Venezuelan people. Canadians will not stand by as the government of Venezuela robs its people of their fundamental democratic and human rights, and denies them access to basic humanitarian assistance, she said. Brazil's ambassador to Venezuela, Rui Pereira, was also declared persona non grata alongside Mr. Kowalik. The president of Venezuela's National Constituent Assembly, Delcy Rodriguez, accused the diplomats of meddling in the country's politics, saying Mr. Kowalik has a history of posting rude and vulgar comments about Venezuela on Twitter. A Twitter account that appears to belong to Mr. Kowalik did not contain any tweets Monday. Mr. Kowalik has not left Venezuela yet, according to Global Affairs Canada, which said he has until January 7 to do so. The department said the rest of the Canadian embassy's staff will remain in Caracas. The posting of Canada's most recent ambassador to Venezuela, Ben Roswell, ended in July. Ms. Freeland's office said Venezuela has not agreed to the appointment of a new Canadian ambassador since, making Mr. Kowalik the most senior diplomat at the embassy. Story continues below. Advertisement. Story continues below. Advertisement. Ms. Freeland recognized the exceptional professionalism and dedication of the government's staff in Venezuela and said Canada will continue to work with its partners in the region to pressure the anti-democratic Maduro regime and restore the rights of the Venezuelan people. Venezuela's descent into chaos has accelerated since March, when Mr. Maduro attempted to strip the opposition-dominated Congress of its powers. Protesters took to the streets, demanding that Mr. Maduro step down and call new elections. At least 125 died in the protests and thousands have been wounded or jailed. Meanwhile, the country is facing triple-digit inflation and desperate shortages of food and medicine.